Twotricks, are you there?
Yes,
Hey,
hello.
how's it going?
Good.
All right, cool. So let's see. How much time do you have for this interview?
Uh, I just morning I'm drinking my coffee. I don't know, doesn't matter. How
Okay.
much you need? Half an hour?
Um, yeah, I don't know, half an hour, something like that.
Oh, an hour? Yeah, potentially. It's a long interview.
Maybe it
Is
depends.
it? Do I get the job?
It's just for to get to know you, make sure you're the right
Yeah,
fit,
sure,
and all
sure.
that.
If,
Um,
let's see.
if I just invited people out of the blue that I hadn't even gotten to talk to, chances are they wouldn't even show up to the first session.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah, a lot of
That
people.
that being said, let's just talk about when the session is, because we can talk and then I can say, "Oh man, I cannot make it to the session," and then it will all be really like, "Oops."
Oh, okay. Okay. So
I
you've
I'm
been.
opening the Roll20 because it has like really good, time. Because I'm on GMT, and some people are like on East Coast USA, West Coast,
Yeah.
Australia, whatever. I don't know where you are.
Well, I'm
So.
GMT -8.
Yeah, so you're EST or something,
uh,
USA?
GMT -8 is the West Coast. So
Okay,
Washington
West
State,
Coast. Oh
Oregon,
yeah,
and California,
yeah.
way over there.
That's the doozy. That's the one that almost always have like a big problem, because now it's morning for me, you know, and I
Yeah,
don't know. It's
yeah,
middle of the night for you right now. I don't know.
yeah. It's after 1 Sunday morning for me. So,
Yeah, yeah.
did
So
you get a chance to look at the LFG, because the time on there should be displayed correctly?
yeah, the problem with LFG is like this. Once you apply to the game and you send it, you in the forum for the game, maybe not all everybody knows it if they don't really try to find games on Roll20, which is kind of hard usually. So I post like something to you, and then there is no way for me to know to find that game again, and unless I really know the exact name. So
Right.
it does not like appear in the searched games or something. So right now I don't know where the game is.
Right.
So
Okay.
I need to search it again. You see, like
Yeah.
I need to go join a game, and then you need to tell me what is the exact name, so I write it here in matching keywords.
Well, okay. So it's called the Orb of Solenoid Hex.
Oh, whoa. That is gonna be hard. Or off.
Yeah.
Can you write it in a
I'll see
chat?
if I can just send you a link here. I'm
Oh,
looking
or
at
link would be even better.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the only problem. Like, if I mention it to you, you're like, oh, what he's talking about. But even try to search it, you will see it's a problem.
Right. Okay, so here is the link in Discord.
Cool. Thanks very much.
And that is the link to
Okay.
the application page.
Okay.
So it has, yeah, the next time we
So
play
it's
is on there, the amount of
Saturday.
players.
Yeah, so it's Saturday 8 p.m. for me.
And it runs 5 hours.
Oh, wow. It's kind of long game. It's
Mhm.
a kind of a long game. That's
Mhm.
5 hours.
So it ended at 1 in the morning on Sunday
Yeah.
for you.
Yeah, it will be 1 in the morning for Sunday. So
do you go to church or anything like that? Or?
no. 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 Of course not. So no, the only problem for me it's like this 8 p.m.
Mm-hmm.
until some 10 p.m. around 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. My kids are still awake. Okay, they go to sleep at around 10 p.m.
Okay.
So when is this process happening? I'm not on automatic talk like voice activated talk like this, but I'm on a button, right? Because I don't want for the screaming and the hilarity, you know. So that's the only problem for me. Like 8 p.m. I like
That's fine.
still in a daddy mode, you know, a
Yeah.
little bit.
Yeah, that's fine.
So
We
I'm like
have-
maybe a little bit less active, you know,
Yeah.
or appear less active, you know.
That's fine. We have a player whose brother is autistic,
Okay.
and he stays on push to talk all the time, and we can hear his brother in the background all the time, and it's never really been, you know, a huge issue with anybody. So a little bit of you know, screaming and stuff like that in the background is just fine.
Yeah. No, it
It's-
won't be any screaming because I'm on push to talk, you know. But
Yeah.
if I would not be, that would be like, go to sleep, go to
Yeah.
sleep already.
If your kids come up to talk to you, you know, then it's customary, you know, to put yourself either on mute or push to talk.
Of
so
course,
you can have,
yeah.
You can have your conversation with them without us overhearing. So that you know, other
Yeah,
than that,
yeah,
that's fine by me, and it should be fine with the other players too. So that's nothing to worry about really. How about, you know, staying up till 1 in the morning on Sundays?
No, that's
again?
not the problem. That's not
okay?
the problem.
Okay.
I'm like usually, you know, because why I'm saying like West Coast is bad for me, because I have 5e game in another day that starts at 11 for me, and it goes like until it can go like really late, like 4 p.m., 4 a.m., and I'm like around 3. I'm all the time. I'm like kind of say like, guys, I have to go to sleep, you know.
Yeah.
I cannot. But 1 a.m. I never go to sleep anyway before 1 a.m. So it's okay.
Right. Okay.
So that's totally fine.
How did you find
Saturday.
How did you find out about Solenoid Hex?
How did I find out? Because I was looking for a game on Roll20, and it's basically mostly 5e games. And although I love 5e, I'm a really veteran D&D player, and I like 5e and everything, but I'm kind of sick of it already, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm really always on the lookout for a OSR game, you know, like old school games.
Yeah. Something
So,
a little bit harder.
Yeah, so like you know, everybody is like talking about old school, like about being harder, you know, and this is a good point for us to talk, like to see really what is the game philosophy, for your game philosophy.
I'm not afraid to use monsters and NPCs to kill player characters and their henchmen and their followers. I don't make a point to pick on one person or anything like that. I don't make a point to pick on, you know, PCs themselves or any one character themselves. I just exploit weaknesses when I see them during combat. For example, the last time I killed a character as a DM was just a few weeks ago, actually. One of the players' henchmen dropped from damage. He was hovering on death's door. We use the hovering on death's door rules. So when you drop below 0, you're not dead. Well, when you drop below 1, you're not dead. When you reach 0, you're unconscious. Okay. You bleed 1 hit point per round until you reach -10, and you die at -10. Now, this henchman that dropped, they left him unprotected, and the players were under attack by assassins and devils. They were in a tower dungeon, and some of the assassins and devils dropped down to their floor through a window from a higher floor, where the injured NPC was laying down on the floor, and none of the characters bothered to, stand over him and protect his body from, possible attackers or anything. And some devils flew into the window next to him, and the next round he was the closest target, and one of the devils killed him. Just did enough damage to him to take him past -10, and that was that.
What level was the guy?
He was an NPC, so he was a henchman, somebody's henchman, so he was an NPC. And I believe he was a multi-class fighter priest. I want to say he was level 7-7. So
level 14. Oh, so you're already really high level in the campaign right now.
If a character that's level 7-7 isn't really 13, they're probably level 8. If you add up all their experience points, it probably comes up to almost level 8, probably. So,
which is also pretty high.
Yeah.
I personally, like, my experience, I have of all the editions of D&D, I have least experience. 4th edition I played maybe one time, and AD&D is like, it was the first D&D I played. So I played it like, I don't know, 50 years ago, 100 years ago. I don't remember. I'm joking about the number, but it's
20,
probably
30.
like 30 years ago.
Yeah, it's 30.
And
32
I
years old
never,
now.
I never came back to it.
Right.
But like, I'm a veteran of like D&D. Like, I usually play BX version, like Rules Cyclopedia, which is the first. Back me. So like, it's just technicality, I will brush up on the rules really fast,
Right.
I don't think that would be a problem, so that's why I'm kind of confused, like, about what level it is.
So from Beckme,
also I'm playing 5e for really long, so it's all mixed up,
From Beckme and 5th, the main thing that's different is the classes and experience system. Each class has their own experience table, which you already know from Beckme, and then the classes are slightly different from Beckme. So, like the fighter in 2nd edition isn't limited to just being proficient with a weapon. You also have weapon specialization, mastery, high mastery, and grand mastery. So you can eventually become a very powerful character as a warrior with your weapons. The Ranger class is slightly different than Beckme. The Ranger in 1st edition starts with 1 hit die instead of 2, and you gain. You can't have followers or henchmen until you reach level 8, at which time you gain the ability to cast magic spells from the plant and animal spheres, and then you're more of a social character after that. You become less of a loner. You can take on henchmen once you reach level 8, and then eventually at level 9, if you build a stronghold, you can take followers. And then the other classes are pretty much the same. The experience system is a little different than 5th edition because obviously, like I said, each class has a different experience table. And then the difference between the experience system from Beckme to 2nd edition is that the dungeon master doesn't have to keep track of how many hit points the monsters have. They all have a set amount of hit points depending on their hit dice. So, and some abilities actually count as hit dice. By that I mean like level 1 and 2 spells counts as an extra hit die, and then level 3 and above spells counts as 2 more hit dice. So a caster that is able to cast level 3 spells and higher counts as level 3 levels, 3 levels higher than they actually are when you calculate the experience they're worth. So NPCs, because of that, are worth much more experience points than your typical monsters. Because if you have, let's say a level 10 wizard, okay? Level 10 wizard has 10 hit dice, obviously, and then they can cast level 5 spells. Okay, so they have the 3 extra hit dice from being able to cast level 3 spells and above. And then some of those spells are going to be able to do 50 plus damage in one hit. So there's another hit die. And then there's some other special abilities that they probably have, maybe magical items that are usable against the player characters. So with a level 10 wizard, you might end up counting them as level 15, 16, maybe even 17. And instead of being worth 3,000 points that a 10 hit die creature would be worth, they might be worth 10,000 experience points instead of 3,000. So in NPCs.
That being said, what classes are needed in the party? Like, what do you think? Where can I fit in with my character?
Currently, there is no single class priest in the party. That's a really big hole that needs to be filled. You don't necessarily have to fill it though. You can play whatever character you want to play in this game. But I will tell you when you ask. The party really needs a single class priest, and there's a lot of different types of priests you can play. So that's but mainly a healer is what they need.
Yeah. I generally a healer, but I can do that. I can try. I really have no experience. Usually what I play is like either a rogue.
Yeah.
I'm a great rogue player.
Yeah.
Or something like a druid.
Yeah.
I'm also good as a druid.
That's a healer class.
Yeah.
So they have major access
maybe
to healing.
a druid would go well then.
Yeah. And then,
but I don't know if druid always fits the campaign, the druid is like a bit tricky on a role-playing aspect.
So right now there's actually an NPC druid in the party that I'm using to keep the party alive until there is a player who dedicates themselves to being a healer. So that would work out perfectly for me. I could let go of the NPC eventually. So,
okay, then I guess a druid would fit. I like either it's a rogue or it's some jack of all trades like character like druid that can
there is
be
also
healer, but also some other things like more utility.
Yeah, there is
based
also
characters.
There's a shortage on warriors also. And currently there's no leadership class, but by that I mean character that has high charisma. Like there's no paladin, there's no bard, there's no enchanter, there's no, let's see, I think, don't illusionists need a high charisma? There's no
idea.
Yeah, there's no face for the party right now.
So that's also a good option. Like
druids,
a paladin or a bard. A druid cannot be a face. I would not play him as a face.
Druids tend to have high charisma sometimes because they have to be mediators a lot between warring factions to, bring balance to the multiverse or what have you. So, I mean, there's a way you could play that. You could play a druid that has a high charisma. Another benefit
Yeah,
of having a high charisma, particularly in my campaign, is henchmen. I use henchmen a lot. I use a lot of the mechanics that are built for charisma, and henchmen are one of them. And you actually, in order to win a henchman over to your side, you have to make friends with them, and there's actually a mechanical way of doing that, and it works off of your charisma.
that being said, let's talk about the campaign, because I guess like thinking of what character to play before knowing what's the story is like kind of backwards
Yeah.
thinking of it, like it would be much better that you tell me the story and the feeling of the campaign and what we are doing, and then I can
Right.
better
So,
decide on class.
currently, the story arc is centered on the cult of Set. Are you familiar with Egyptian gods?
Yeah.
Okay, so there's this god named Set, who is in D&D. He's an evil god. In real life, not so much. He's kind of neutral in real life. One second, excuse me. Hold on 1 second. Sorry about that. So this god named Set and his cult are kind of like the evil force in this southern continent of my world, and the adventurers are currently on a quest given by a goddess to travel to a particular part of this desert area, this desert continent, recover an artifact and use it to restore basically the birthplace of the goddess so that she can be reborn again. Her avatar was destroyed, and she wants to be reborn. In order for that to happen, her birthplace has to be restored, and there's a problem with it right now, and the party needs this artifact to restore it. And it's being not really guarded, but it is in a place that is occupied by a lot of Set's followers, and they are cursed humans that are they take their curse is to take the form of what a man scorpion is.
Okay, yeah.
So it's sort of like a centaur, but with a scorpion body instead of a horse body.
Yeah,
Okay.
like Dridder or whatever are they named,
Yeah.
you
So
Underdark.
kind of, yeah. So these
No, I know exactly what you think. I don't know
these
what's the name of the
these
creature.
man scorpions. So these man scorpions are sort of occupying this ancient city that has this artifact, and the players have to find the ancient city, fight their way, or maybe even mediate their way to the artifact, recover it to the point where it can be used, use it, and then escape without dying, or fight their way out, or obliterate everything, depending on how they want to do it.
Sounds great.
Yeah.
Just okay. Questions.
Go ahead.
So it's like kind of a chosen one quest. Like the players are like chosen ones by a goddess to go on this holy quest?
Right. So one of the players is this story arc is dedicated to his character, and the goddess is the goddess that he serves. It's his chosen religion, and
Mm-hmm.
he plays as. Do you know what the Asheras are? An Ashera?
No.
I'll type it in Discord. It's Asura, Asura. They're a celestial being.
Ah, Asura.
Yeah. They're from both the Islamic religion and also the Vedic religion. And they're essentially people who tried to either buy their way into heaven, or
Mm-hmm.
by donating money, or charity or something like that, or they tried to fight their way into heaven by fighting for the gods, or whatever. So either through money or through violence, they tried to earn their way into heaven. And
Which is quite convenient because in AD&D you can actually become a god, right? So
yeah, yeah. So eventually, this goddess
yeah,
would
yeah, I
probably
know.
this
I
goddess would
already searched it. Yeah,
right, yeah.
Asura.
Eventually, this goddess would probably be his uh, like mentor in becoming a god, if he
So
wanted.
why are the other players in the party then?
So
Like,
for
why
one,
are they following
for
the
one,
same
for
quest?
one, they're his friends.
Okay.
So these people have been together for years. These players have been playing with each other for years, and they help support each other. So that's number one. Number two is
Wait, for years in a real time?
in
It's like
real.
you're really old. It's a group that you playing with for really long time.
Right, right.
Oh,
So
that's fantastic.
yeah, yeah. So
I
the
mean, we just lost the DM for like 5E. We
yeah.
had the group we played for like 5 years, and he
Mm-hmm.
was just like he just went AWOL, because I don't know, he had some personal problems, and we're now like a group of 4 players for 5 feet, and we're like just hanging out the same day, and playing board games and like hoping to find a DM.
Yeah,
So I know what you mean,
yeah,
but it's for 5 feet. I'm just mentioning it because I think it's very nice to have such a
yeah.
solid group. It's great thing.
Right. So these characters literally love each other. They have saved each other's lives multiple times. They've been adventuring with each other for years, and they support each other. So that's the first reason. And two, there is a main like quest giving character who is very important to most of them, who pretty much sent them on this mission, southward into the desert, to, find this artifact and restore, the goddess's birthplace.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
so the character, the Ashura, is pretty much doing it for
Oh,
two
just a
reasons.
sec.
Go ahead.
I have somebody on the.
At the door.
Sorry, just got the package from Amazon.
Mm.
Look, that's fantastic. I guess you're all probably from USA, right?
Um, yeah, I guess so for the most part. Although
Yeah,
we've
yeah.
had several international players in the past, including some of the original players who no
Mm-hmm,
longer play with
mm-hmm.
us. So
I hope they will have no problem with the South European accent of my myself.
no problem. We had a player for the longest time, for about 2 years, who was from Athens, and he had a
Oh, okay,
very,
yeah,
very, very thick Greek accent, and everybody loved it. Everybody loved
yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah.
So
Maybe we can incorporate this as a character trait.
possibly,
Maybe we should
yeah.
think of something that would work with the accent.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Although, I'm thinking like, uh, what I'm thinking is like, what character should I play? Because the group is already so tight knit, and they have like really personal bonds. Uh, it's a, I'm thinking, how can you bring a character that would like feel invested in their quest?
Mm.
That's always my problem when like my character goes
Right.
in, and then
So
like, let's say he's a rogue, like, and they say like, let's do something, that is maybe not in his interest, whatever his character is.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So why should he do it? Like, they're on the quest to bring back some artifact for a
Well,
god.
uh,
You know that maybe he's just
motivation
all.
motivation is up to you. But usually, I mean, especially in real life, when people become adventurers, it's for monetary gain or treasure or fame. Usually the more vain aspects of getting rich and famous. Plus, this group is a group of basically famous people because some of them already have followers and stuff like that. So um, usually characters that have followers are famous, at least in their homeland, and then sometimes throughout the world, depending on their level. But usually once you reach around level 10 and gain followers, you have some kind of fame in your homeland, and so the reputation of the group is pretty good. Like, they've done a lot of good things in their homeland, the home continent of the game, and this is their first like foray into another continent. So they're kind of expanding their the reach of their uh, reputation as they go. And
Yeah.
most of the characters that join because they want to be a part of the group. The group is called the Superstars. They named themselves that. The Superstars. That's kind of corny, I know, but that's what they wanted to be called. At least a year ago, they did. So they renamed themselves the Superstars. They used to be called the Circus. For the longest time, they were called the Circus, but they renamed themselves to the Superstars.
So what I'm thinking here, like, of course, when we think about the hook, me and you will talk about this. I will not just drop some idea on you. We will think, and if you don't like the idea I tell you about the character, please tell me, because nothing
Yeah.
is set in
Well,
stone. Like, I had
well,
DMs that I come
I'll,
up, like last time I came up with the idea for a elf
yeah.
blade singer wizard, and I tried to incorporate it into the DM story, like,
Mm-hmm.
and I made an evil character, right? But I thought that's what he wanted, and then on the end he said, you know, I don't like the character, and you cannot play. I said like, okay, but you know,
Wow.
like we came, let's change the character. But then I said, just okay, forget it. If you...
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
like nothing is set in stone. I can
Right.
say like, let's play a druid. You can say no, we don't need that kind of druid. I'm
Yeah.
not like, I'm just
Yeah.
the best is that we find the best character that
Right.
fits you, the group, and me, you know, so
Mm,
that's way we all have fun, you know.
I'm hoping that you create the character that you always wanted to play. You are not limited to playing a healer. You're not limited to playing a warrior. You can play whatever you want. If you want to play a rogue right now, you can play a rogue. You can play a thief. You can play a ninja. You can play a bard. I don't care. As long
Yeah, yeah.
as the character is cool, you are interested in playing the character, and you show up to the sessions to play because you're excited about playing. That's
Of
my goal.
course, of
That's my
course,
goal.
of course.
Okay.
So that's 100%. Don't worry about this.
Mm-hmm,
Okay, so my ideas. Paladin sound awesome.
mm-hmm.
I played Paladin before. Uh, what I usually play is a rogue, kind of rogue face character, you know. That being said, about the charisma characters, okay, which you mentioned, how how are you handling the skill checks and stuff like this? Like, if I would like try to convince, if I would approach like the Scorpion Man and
Mm-hmm.
try to convince him that we are the emissaries of Set and we want to investigate. I don't know. We want to inspect his city, you know, and we are on
Okay.
his side. How
First,
would you approach this?
first of all, you would need to be able to speak a language that he can understand. Okay.
Okay.
Second of all, you would have to prove to me that you have come up with ways that your party reflects the things that you say to the NPC. Like if you want to be a group of Set followers, you'd probably have to have people dressed up as priests of Set with holy symbols of Set. You'd probably have to have people that are that look like they're Set assassins and stuff like that. Maybe even a person who's in crocodile form, or giant snake form or whatever, that could be a minion of Set in animal form or something. And then
Okay.
come up with a not super convincing approach, but one that is viable to
Okay.
me, and then I let mechanics take over after that. And what I mean is,
Which would be?
which would be, have you ever heard of encounter reactions?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so it's a 2d10 roll, and it subtracts your charisma reaction adjustment. Okay, and the lower the roll, the better. And depending on your character's demeanor, I will judge your character's demeanor as you speak to the NPC, whether you are friendly, neutral, threatening, etc. And then based on that 2d10 roll minus your charisma modifier, there will be different results that come up depending on what your demeanor is. So each demeanor has its own table. So there's a friendly
Mm-hmm.
table, there's a threatening table, there's a neutral table, and there's a hostile table or whatever. And the more basically the more you kiss the NPC's ass, the more likely I am to choose the friendly demeanor. If there's something that comes up that maybe angers your character, and your character kind of says something a little snappish, I might say, you're either neutral or maybe even threatening, depending on what you say. Like if you were to grab the hilt of your sword or something and say, that's not true, that was a lie, or whatever, then that might be hostile or threatening or whatever.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah, and
Okay.
it all depends on the approach. It just needs to be a viable approach verbally, and then you have to come up with ways to support the approach that the rest of the party agrees to and is on board
No,
with,
I'm
and
completely
then
fantastic with
yeah,
what you said.
and
I'm
then be able to
I'm
speak their
like
language. So
I'm like looking for a game where it's more about what we do, role play, than just roll the skill. Like, oh, you failed, that's it. Does not matter what you did or whatever. Just
yeah,
all the time, just deciding by the dice. But
yeah,
a good mix, like you said, like of actions and then the dice mechanics. That's perfect with me. That's what I. Oh, that sounds great. Really, really does. Um, yeah, I'm thinking really. I'm thinking because all these characters are really cool for me. Paladin, I think would be good because I think he's a bit of a healer, but I don't think it would be enough of a healer for the party. Druid is a great character that I love playing, but I would not play him as a face because I usually, when I play druids, like I play more detached, neutral version that they're like,
yeah, nihilist.
they don't care. Yeah, they're like, yeah, nature is all that matters, and everything is decided by law of nature, and that's it. They just protect the nature, and that's like if he is on this quest, he would maybe go against the set because he knows that set is like for some reason destroying the environment, or something like that. So I don't know how fitting that will be for the party, And
Yeah.
then like something more like a bard would be really fun because I really like playing face characters.
Yeah.
But then again, I don't know if it's enough, like on a power scale. Like I will need to see this. So that are the options. I don't know about the rogue. I don't know how he would fit the party.
Yeah. Plus, there's already a PC single class rogue, and there's also
Yeah. Then
a
especially
PC
not.
multi-class rogue too. So
Yeah. That would not be fitting. But the bard, I don't remember really what in AD&D what bard actually does in D&D.
yeah, the
AD&D.
bard is basically a mix of fighter, thief, and mage. So they have some aspects of a fighter. They're able to use any weapon like a fighter can. They have access to fighter proficiencies. They can wear up to chainmail, so there's that. And then rogue. They have some rogue abilities like pickpockets, read languages, and then of course they have detect noise and climb walls. Everyone has detect noise and climb walls, but they have the rogue version of it, which is slightly more powerful than a regular character. And then for the wizard aspect, once they get to level 2, they find a book of magic through happenstance. And every couple of levels, they just add a spell to it. And they can learn spells from other bards and from wizards. They just have to translate wizard text into bardic text in order to copy it into their book. And they can learn, the same spells as a wizard can, plus they get random spells every couple of levels as well. So they can get quite a few spells fairly quickly, depending on how much time you dedicate to learning spells. So, and it's kind of cool because they can wear chainmail, but they also cast spells too.
Yeah.
Chainmail has a decent AC, and then casting spells in chainmail is pretty awesome. And then also, because they can use any weapon just like a fighter can, that also means they can use guns. So imagine mixing magic with guns and still having bardic abilities, and then also they have like a legend lore ability which is unique to their class, which is
that's a great one.
Yeah, it's similar to like an identify spell. It's really hard to use it though. Like they're not very good at using it ever. But the more often you use it, the more often you're successful, obviously. And then they have the ability to block sonic attacks through their songs. Out to a range of like 30 feet, they can block sonic attacks. And then
Wow, you're a regular encyclopedia of rules, man.
well, I've had a couple of bard players in Song
That's great.
So
Look, I will read through it. I will like take a book. I will read about the abilities and everything.
yeah, the abilities should really sell the class. Plus,
Yeah.
you can use guns in my campaign, so that's another thing to think about.
Yeah, that's great. Like kind of like primitive guns, like or like gunpowder gun.
Yeah, gunpowder, flintlocks.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah,
That's
flintlock, flintlock belt pistols, horse pistols, carbines,
Cool.
and muskets.
Nice.
And there's also cannons and stuff like that. So
that's great. You can have a NPC that is like carrying a cannon, on his back, like you have in this Japanese samurai movies sometimes.
Yeah, he'd probably be severely encumbered to carry a cannon.
I know,
yeah.
But maybe he's like a half giant or something.
Yeah, you could make an extremely strong character that can, hump a cannon around on his back. So.
Yeah. So yeah, okay, I will think about it. I'm just telling you because I'm sorry because I'm kind of trying to rush you because I have
go to work.
Yeah, I have all kind of chores that I need to do.
Okay.
So I will just think about the characters because this is okay. Just one more question. Skill check. We come across, I don't know, some region or something, and I want to see if I have a knowledge of that region or of that object or of that temple or whatever. How do we roll this? How do we play this?
If it's a temple, I would say it would be a religion proficiency check. If it is, an event or something that happened a long time ago, I would say that would be ancient history. If it is an event that happened in contemporary times, like just recently, I would say that it would be a local history check, which is
So
like,
how I forgot, like AD&D has skills?
yeah, they're called proficiencies. And then there's also thief skills, which are different. The thief,
Player options, skills and powers. Okay. And how do you gain these skills?
as
I'm
you
just
level up,
asking
you
you because I
gain.
forgot completely.
Yeah, as you level up, you gain proficiency slots, and
All right.
you spend those proficiency slots.
And let's say that my character does not have this proficiency.
Uh huh.
How would you roll? Like I ask you, like, what is
Oh,
this temple? But my
um,
character is a bard and he has no proficiency in religion.
If you want to know something about a temple and your character is a bard, but you didn't take the religion proficiency, it's
That's
just
right.
something you don't know about. Unless you roll your legend lore check and it comes up positive, which is like grasping at straws, basically. At when you're low level, it's pretty much grasping at straws. But that's your go-to skill for knowing things out of the blue.
One more question, like really important before, and then I really need to split. I'm sorry. How do you handle combat? Is it theater of mind or miniature or
Maps.
miniatures?
Maps and tokens.
Map.
Yep.
Tokens.
With a grid.
Oh, all right,
Yeah.
okay.
So
That's
there's
important.
ranges matter, areas of effect of spells matter. Everything is going to be on a map. When we're playing, you're going to be looking at a map with your character's token on it. And,
Constantly,
yeah.
or just
constantly.
in the battle.
Constantly, you're going to be looking at a map with your character on it.
Okay.
And I use animated tokens for the most part. So the picture won't be static; it'll be moving. Even some of the maps move. Like in the swamps, the water actually flows and it ebbs and flows, and
Wow.
there'll be insects crawling around and vines that like blow in the wind.
You're not some kind of a streamer or something.
Yeah, I stream it. Yeah.
You stream it.
Yeah.
Do we need a camera?
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
You don't need anything.
I
but a
was
mic.
on a, yeah, I was on some other channel and I wanted to play, but they said you need a camera, and I don't have it installed on my PC.
Yeah, that's
I
fine.
gave it to my son for his Zoom learning. You know, they are learning now with camera, you know, because of the corona.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay. Man, I need to go, and if you want to talk with me again, just tell me and we do it
Okay.
later. Okay?
Yeah. So we pretty much got to question 2. So we can continue this interview later. How about next weekend?
Next weekend? Yeah, great. Fantastic.
'Cause
Until then, I will brush up on maybe some AD&D rules a little bit more.
Yeah, because you're GMT 0?
+2.
GMT +2, so you're 10 hours ahead of me. It's gonna have to be it's gonna have to be on the weekend when we get together again. So I'll message you on Discord during the week, and you can reply to me. It'll be private messages, so you won't have to pay attention to any particular channel or anything. And we can get together next weekend and continue the interview. Okay.
Great, man, great. Have a good night or whatever is time at your place.
Yeah, it's about 2 a.m, so it's still nighttime.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Okay, then good night.
All right, have a good day at work.
Bye.
Yep, bye-bye.
Nice talking to you. Bye-bye.
Good to meet you. And for viewers, don't go away. I'm going to be doing a world building stream for about an hour after this. I'll be doing probably monster sheets. So for tropical swamp. All right, so don't go anywhere. I'm gonna restart the stream as soon as I can retitle it to world building.